Okay, good morning, guys. We found an unbelievable source yesterday. How did the Arizal dress? How did he dress? I love finding these things. Unbelievable, because you get to see what the Hachamim did. So this is from Rav Chaim Vital, Shara Mitzvot, Parashat Ekev,
How long ago?
Gimel. The Arizal was in the 1500s. 1500s, he lived.
There's no picture.
No, there's no pictures of the Arizal. There's no pictures at all. Pictures and photography came in the 1800s. 1800s. Early 1800s, we have photography. We have photography of the Civil War, of the American Civil War. So 1860 to 65.
Maybe somebody painted.
No, but that's paintings. He's talking about photography. Photography was the 1800s, was it first came out. So are there any paintings? I don't know. The Italian rabbis and the European rabbis all had paintings of themselves from the early portraits from the 1300s, because the church, we spoke about this, that the church and the Vatican were very keen on taking paintings of all the rabbis. They wanted to know what they looked like. So it did us a big benefit today. Besides all the texts that the Vatican have and all the books they took from us and all the Kollel Bet HaMikdash and everything, they also have photos of our rabbis and paintings. So it's good to know that whenever I want to research, I've researched through the Vatican's online records. Today they scan a lot of things, and you can look up online and find a lot of the things. Like, for example, I need to look up a Sefer Torah. I found one from Rabbenu Nissim, Duran, from Spain. And there was an unbelievable Sefer Torah from the Rosh, and I used the scan of it. It was in the Oxford University on their website. You used to have to go into the facility to check the document. Now they scanned everything and they put it online. And I wanted to check a word to see how he wrote it. What was the question? It had to do with the last Rashi in Parashat Noach. The last Rashi in Parashat Noach says the word Becharan, the place, that he says the Nun Sofit is Hafucha. It's backwards. Right. And I put together like 20 sources or something that prove that if you don't have a Nun Hafucha, including the Beit Yosef, the Sefer Torah is B'di'avad. It's kasher, but B'di'avad, even according to the Beit Yosef. According to all the sources that I brought in. And I thought that was wow, we don't do this today. I'm like, so all the Sefer Torah B'di'avad, according to the Beit Yosef, it was like a big thing. So I said, let me go look at the Sefer Torah of the Rosh. I found it online. I was able to look, and he didn't have it in there. So we assumed from this that if he didn't have it in his Sefer Torah, that Sefer Torah came from Spain. It's about 500 plus years old. We did it. So we're asking the question, what did the Arizal wear? Okay, and
where did they bring this from?
this is from Shara HaMitzvot. Rav Chaim Vital. One of his Talmud. Yeah, he lived with him for 20 months. In 20 months in Sfat. Now, the Arizal had like 10 students. He had students before Rav Chaim Vital even came. There's plenty of students. They all wrote books.
He was the main student, no?
All of the students, and to some extent, said they were the main students. So, I mean, of course, Rav Chaim Vital is the one that's Ikad in all of our learning. But they all said that. They all said that. If you look at their Sfarim and you read it, they all said that they had the best Mesorah. So, and they're all the biggest Talmidei Chachamim. So it's important to learn, I think, from all the Talmidim and to see what differences they come up with. So he says here, Be'inyan midat hanedivut ve'havat ranut. Okay. Ra'iti lemori zal, I saw my rabbi, shelo haya choshesh ba'atzmo le'tkabed b'malbushim na'im yoter midai. He never honored himself with clothing that was just too luxurious. Okay. Gam b'machalo, also when he ate simple foods. He didn't eat, 5-star dinners. Hayauchel davar mu'at. He used to eat very little. Me'od. Davar mu'at mu'at. Aval b'mamlushe ishto. But when it came to his wife's clothing, haya zahir me'od lechabda. He was very careful to honor her. Ulhalbisha, and to dress her. Vayam mapik kol retzona af im lo haya yado maseget kol kach. He made sure that whatever his wife wanted in clothing, he took care of it. She wanted a new Chanel bag. She wanted a new $4,000 dress.
I don't think she wanted that.
I don't mean. What I'm meaning the exaggeration for today's standard. That today the guy can wear himself a simple shirt, simple pants and shoes, and he's okay. He can wear himself a pair of Skechers. That extra money you have, put it towards your wife. This is the custom of the Arizal. You dress and eat simply, and you honor your wife to be better. We're going to see in one of the Ma'amrei Chazal in the future, God willing, of how a person who's wealthy, how he should eat, how he should dress his kids. It comes up in Hazal, in the Gemara. We're going to get that in the future. So this is today's discussion. How did the Arizal dress? He dressed simply. He ate simply. It doesn't say if he was a vegetarian or not. Didn't say anything about that. And he was very, very careful to make sure to honor his wife. So now before the holiday, you guys have 48 hours before Sukkot. Tell your wife, here's an extra $1,000 or whatever. Here, go buy stuff to dress nice.
We also spoke yesterday, although you asked about the Arizal, we went yesterday about something I don't know if you about Kollel, but how a school had not to lose your side. Said not, so he was saying to be careful. The Arizal told him not to look at him during Kedusha, during Kriyat Shema, during certain times. You can see from there that he studied him inside out all the rules.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Right. If you look, one thing for sure. If you look from
Arizal told him not to.
Yeah. Wow. Too much Kedusha comes down. It's not good for your eyes.
That was yesterday's class. We discussed it. It also comes down in Sha'ar HaMitzvot. What's very apparent from Sha'ar Mitzvot and from the writings of Maharchu is his anava and his writing. Like you could see it. You can feel his anava in the writing. I don't know how to explain it, but when you're reading a lot of the Hebrew text, sometimes you feel humble just reading his text.
That's the way you started. What do you say when you start?
He puts himself down with his
I don't know. It's just every time I read his text,
yeah.
You feel humbled. I don't know. In certain Sfarim, you read it, you feel just great. And that's why I always love sourcing out things in these books. And by the way, Shara Kavanot, Shara Mitzvot, these are such easy Sfarim to go through. They're not, it used to be, people used to say, Kabbalah, it's all this stuff. Like you read it, it's just great life advice of how to behave. It's not like, there's nothing here that's going to give you all these things that can confuse you when you're praying. So that's that. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.